welcome to my channel. This is Leslie from Feral Laser. I'm going to show you a few tricks and tips to make some things on the Wecreat Lumos. So stick around and watch what we've got going on. I have my entire screen set up for you right now, and I'm ready to try out my first thing. I'm going to do a SLATE test. And on my SLATE test, I'm going to refresh so that you can see what is going on inside my laser. I've taken a SLATE coaster and have it upside down, so I'm testing it on the back side of the coaster instead of wasting the front side of the coaster. So let's just make a test array. The test array button is over here on your toolbar on the left. You've got a toolbar on the top and one on the right, and it can be a little bit intimidating, but not if you just try and test out a few things at a time. So let's go to the left side toolbar and we'll decide how we're going to make this test array. The test array is going to go on the little SLATE, and if you go where the little 4 dots are right there, you can click on the Material Testing Array tab. So let's check that out. It's got a bunch of settings. Don't worry about those settings. You're just trying this out. You're new. Go ahead with the preset stuff. You know, it's going to be all right. So I'm going to click confirm, and it makes this little grid which I can move around. I can make bigger and smaller. I want to make it a little smaller so I'm not making it too really annoying on that thing. Plus it won't take as long to make if I make it a little smaller. I actually know the settings that I like to use on my SLATE, so now I don't have to do this every time. This is just something you'll want to do with a brand new material if you have an extra, or on, you know, something that you're really not sure of. You wouldn't want to do it every single time because it kind of wastes some material. I'm going to make it a little smaller. All the settings are already set. I don't have to worry about any of that at all. All I have to do is go in here and let it get going. Now, we're going to look at how some of these things work as we go through this video. Right now, I've got this on unidirectional scanning. I'm going to move it to bidirectional scanning, and that only works when you're not selected on an object, so I had to change it while I was not selected, and then reselect the object if I'm going to do something with that actual object. Now we're going to make this thing do the test array on this piece of coaster, and all I have to do, I don't even have to mess with the settings. I just need to tell it to go ahead and start. But I want to show you something. You could actually do this on the red light or the blue light for SLATE. A few things can work either way, and you might test it to see which one you like the best. I'm going to do this one just on the blue. It will only take a tiny bit to do, so there you go. I've got it started. Push my start button. Remember, when you're using your Lumos, you can use the little automatic focus knob, and it will twist back and forth until you align the 2 colored dots together, and you're ready to go. So let's check out how this thing turned out. I'm going to let it finish its last little bit here, and boy, that was quick. Push my confirm button. If I wanted to redo it, I could push my reprocessing if I have something I need to redo, but I'm not doing that for this one. I'm just gonna let you see what it looks like. I'm gonna push my confirm and move my little thing out of the way. If I push refresh, you can see what my image looks like in the laser. There it is. So I've got all those little settings engraved on there, and I can choose which one that I like the best, and then actually do the real engraving with the settings that is looking like I want it to actually look, depending on what I want to pick. If I want it to be darker or lighter. Usually when I'm doing SLATE, I spray paint it black and then do the engraving on it, because all the SLATEs I do are pretty much just for decoration, and I do a lot of photo images on them, so I don't want them to be too dull looking. I want them to look really high contrasty. And don't forget, when you're doing SLATE, to reverse your images, and I'll show you about doing that in a few minutes on this video. Alright, now we're going to try something different. We're going to try a pet tag. I have this dog, Peanut, and he seems to lose his tags and his collars pretty often, so he gets to get a new tag all the time and be my little guinea pig. So we're going to do a little aluminum tag. These are the little inexpensive ones, and it kind of looks like a weird yellowish color. It's pretty bright gold. I've put my tag in my little jig that holds my tags and different images, different size things, so it's pretty easy to do. All I need is adding some lettering, and I'm going to make this darker so I can see it. Yay, that's better. So with it black and with it filled engraved, I can actually see the lettering and move it to where I want it to fit on top of the tag. Peanut. Make peanut look cute. Make it a little smaller. It's still too big. Got to make it fit where I want it to be on the tag. And center it as well as I can, just with my eyeballs. There. Now I've got a little bit of extra room around there. I could put something down here. I will go ahead and put in, yeah, let's put a little heart in there. So here's you a heart, and make it fill. We'll make it a color I can see. That's better. And I could do this as filled in or an outline, or I could do a little outline around the whole thing. It's, you know, pretty versatile what you could do with the little shapes. I'm going to leave this as a fill engrave though, instead of as an outline, because I think that'd just be easier to see for our purpose. Now let's change the font. I click on the font, and let me get out to close that thing so you can see the fonts. These are the Wecreat fonts, and they have this cute little saying in there that they put in. You've got a lot of nice fonts to choose from Wecreat, but you can also pick the ones that are from your computer where it says system, and you can pick different ones from your own computer when you don't have any Wi-Fi. I've recently saved are the ones that you've used in the last few times, and then you can actually bookmark a few that you use all the time. I always forget to do that. Let me just pick something kind of cute and bold. Looks like a dog. That would be, yeah, there's a good boy little dog. He's a fun dog. So there's him, a word for his name. And I have to make sure and put it on the right settings. This thing's made out of metal, so I need to use the red light instead of the blue. And I need to pick metal. And under the metal, I've got to pick the type of thing that it is, which would be an aluminum one. And it coated black is basically the same thing. It's coated, it's just not black. It's a different color. But this will work with coated black. When I do some of the other dog tags, I use the titanium. If they're the thicker, harder metal, that works better with them to use the titanium setting. For this one, I'm just doing the regular aluminum setting. But if you, I don't know what that page is. Okay, wrong page to click on. If you're using one that seems to be not engraving good, or it's that really, really thick metal, just try out the one that says titanium. Okay, that one would be right there. So next to it right there, titanium alloy, and that's what I pick if it's going to be the thicker metal ones. This one's not, so I'm just going to use this regular one. Go back, pick out the regular aluminum one, and its settings are very slow. I don't know. 10 is a very small speed, so I don't know. We'll see how it does it. Okay, it's gonna take it just 4 minutes. Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, that's too silly. I think that takes too long for such a tiny thing. I think 10 is the unreasonable number here at this time. So I'm going to change it, move that number up some, make it 100. And you'll know after a while when you're doing things if you've picked something that's just far-fetched. So a tiny little dog tag shouldn't take 4 minutes. It should take 40 seconds probably. So I knew that right off the bat. That's too long for such a tiny little thing. So I needed to change my settings. If I had done a test array, I'd know what to do, but I didn't do that. I just did it right off the seat of my pants. And it's actually going to come out okay. these aluminum things are some of the easier things to engrave, and they come out really great on the Lumos. I really do like the way it does its things. So I'm going to refresh. Whoops, not yet. It's saying you're in too big of a hurry. Got to give it a minute. Okay. I usually have some of these dog tags ready for when I go to an event, because boy, they like to have these things. So I have a few pre-made designs ready to go and saved on a file so that I can just open it, put in the dog's name and put in the phone number and have it ready, and they can come back and pick it up in a few minutes. If it's something quick like one dog tag, it might be done in the amount of time it takes them to look around in my shop. I've had some people come in and want me to do a dozen of them. You know, so anyway, here's my dog tag. Came out pretty good. Peanut looks good. See how long he can keep this one before he loses it. And we'll go to the next project. I'm back to my pages, and next we're going to do a little hat patch. This one is made out of pleather, so like fake leather. And I'm going to put this image on it, which is one that I got out of Creative Fabrica. It's pretty darn cute. It's a nice little line drawing. And let me put in my hat patch and let you see what that's going to be. This is my jig that I have in there. And I just have it for, it uses a lot of different things. But I've got my hat patch to go in there, and this image that I can do. And it's a hat patch, so it's leather. I'm probably not going to want to use the red light. I'll probably switch that too. There we go. There. Oh, you get a picture of my fingers. Yay, aren't you special today? You get to see that. Let's try again. All right, let's do right there. Okay. So, make this a little bit smaller. Line it in the middle. And again, this is just a picture I got off of Creative Fabrica. I'm leaving it like it is. It's a little bitmap. And I'm going to go into this Creative Fabrica. When I want to find something, I'll go there and I search a file. I open my files that I have there, and you have to download them. You let this load up for a second. It will save it to your download folder. Okay? And after you've saved it to your download folder, you can't just immediately put it into your work in Wecreat. You have to go back and open it up and unzip it, because it saves it as a zipped up tiny little file. So push your download button, let it download, and then go down and look into your folders. Here's my folders. That's my downloads. And it shows a zipper looking file. Right click that thing, and then you just have to push the button for extract all. I just let it extract into the same download folder. Open it. You can see the file is there. Sometimes you'll open it up and you'll have multiple files. You may have to unzip multiple files. But now it is open. It's able to open in Wecreat. So there we go. Here's another picture. Open the one we just downloaded. And confirm. There it is. That one's really cute, but I'll still like the one I'm going to do on there. I'll just leave that one off to the side for now. Okay. Now, as I do this, I'm going to pick out the correct item. I've done some of these. I haven't done a lot of them on this exact material, but I know that it has to be fairly, you know, lower power usually, or else it can burn through these things. And sometimes you want to change your settings on your pictures. Here's all the little picture settings you can work with. On this particular image, if I want to make it, you know, I can change it into a more of a line art than it is. I don't know if I want to do that or just leave it the way that it is, because it's kind of it looks pretty good as it is. If I do that and I click go that out of the way, I can click on my item there and confirm and see how it changes it to like its own little line art. Now you can change it as a outline or as a fill in or as a cut. but you will lose a lot of detail. See how some of the details are gone? You can actually get it to engrave a little darker and stuff with that than you would with the bitmap necessarily if you use their automatic settings, but sometimes it loses so much detail I don't really want to bother. So I'm just going to keep this one as a bitmap and test it out. Since it's little and it's, you know, not too important, I can test out the settings on here. I'm going to put it on my blue light, and then I've got to go to leather, and within leather you got to pick out the PU leather. It doesn't matter really what color one it is. I usually try and pick something that's a similar color and the similar type of material, and then work it from there. And it gives me in my settings pretty low, and yeah, DPI not so bad. Okay, I think I'll just maybe go down a little bit lower. I'm afraid it might be too much and it might kind of burn this, so I'm going to go a little lower just to test it out. All right, yeah, let's try that. Okay, and get going. Push the button. All right, now let's see how this comes out. Oh, I can see it's actually coming out really light. I might want to let it run and then do the repeat button. Since it's coming out super light, I think I will do that. Often I will let it repeat just so that it will not burn it up the first time and just go gradually darker. Okay. So this is a little bit too light. I'm going to go ahead and do it a little bit darker and let you see how it comes with the settings just a little bit darker. And when it finishes up this, we'll see how it goes. Next time I'll know that I shouldn't be too scared of this particular material because it seems to be a little tougher than the other one that I used that was the PU material. Alright, my second try came out a little bit better, a little bit darker, and it looks pretty good. So next we're going to try out another idea, doing a mirror. Design is another little Creative Fabrica design. I think I like this one better than the other design, and it fits the square just a little bit better. I have this really great crystal ball with me that allowed me to see into the future how I screwed this up, so this is pretty funny to watch. I forgot to reverse the image. So when you do one, make sure you reverse the image, because I ended up redoing the entire thing over again where I did forget to reverse the image. Hopefully you won't have that problem. Now, set your image. You might want to line your image up. This one I'm going to go ahead and show you what I did with it. I lined it up in the middle. And on a mirror, you got to make sure your mirror is in upside down so that you're at the back of your mirror. And set this up. Here's my settings. I'm going to try and do the outliney thing on it. So there we go. I'm going to do the outlines. So make it a fill engrave. I think it'll just work better with this. And yes, there you go. I'm going to delete my original one and just use the Wecreat's outlines. And there we go. I've lost it. Undo. There we go. And put my picture in there. Again, I should have reversed the image. Don't forget that trick when you do yours. Here we go. There's my mirror as I refresh. Have it all set up to go right there. And you're fixing to see the magical screw up when I push send on this sucker in a minute. But yeah. Material selecting. I'm going to pick the red light and select. I actually have a custom one right there. I have a custom setting that I created. You can make your own custom settings and save them. Just click on the new one and make you a new setting. But this is one that I had set up for mirrors. If you're trying to create your own little custom setting, you can add a brand new thing, put all your parameters in, name it, and save it, and then you'll have things for later on ready to go quickly. My settings for this mirror, if I click on the object, now you can see what my settings were. Those are my automatic mirror settings, and I happen to know from the last time I tried this particular brand of mirror that it's a little thicker and a little bit harder to get through, so I reduced my settings some. On this one, I made it go a little slower. And as I push this to go, there we go, send. And I magically noticed, oops, just a little bit too late, that I didn't reverse the image. I should have pushed my reverse, and so boop, yeah, check it out. Oopsie daisy. You have to actually tell it to do the opposites. So I'm gonna just fix my screw up here with a little magic. Here are the correct settings for my mirror. Yes, I put it backwards and I redid the whole thing, and you can look at the settings and see what I did there to make your own mirror. Plus your own mirrors might be slightly different, but it did turn out really good after I did it the right direction. So let's check out this next project. This is so stinking cute. I used my AI on Google to create this cute little image, and he's been making all of my things. My little character here is my raccoon named Wrangler, and I went into Google, I put in pictures of my raccoon and then tell it what I want to do with the pictures of my raccoon for all these little promo pages and fun things. This one I just gave him a picture of the raccoon and told him to make it a fun Mardi Gras picture. So that'll be cute when I put it on something in color, but I'm going to try it with my black acrylic, and I've got all my little things I've made download and saved in here, and I look at all my raccoon things and all my little things. So this is where I take it and make stuff out of it. So I use this image. Here's my little original raccoon image with my logo, and I just told Google Chat GPT, that one, to turn it into a Mardi Gras picture. So here you go, my cute Mardi Gras raccoon and all my other cute things. You can click them and save them. So I put this in to make with the black acrylic. The black acrylic does images just phenomenal. I wish I'd have done this 6 months ago or so. I didn't know how cute it could make things. I was just kind of afraid to try it. So when I first started out, yeah, I definitely was afraid to try this, but now not a big deal. I actually learned that it's pretty easy to do. So when I do my black acrylic, here I've got my little image, and I'm going to show you how you make it inverted. If you click on your image processing, it shows my original, and it shows the black and white original, but under filters right here is where I've got to click it and change it to invert. There, now it's the reverse image. Black is white, white is black, push confirm, and you've got a ready to go image. That might be a little bit too big, so yeah, let me check this thing. How about push red light, and it should be on acrylic. So I gotta find plastic, and there's black acrylic right there. Ready for that. Now just set it all. Got settings going. I remember mine was way higher, so I'm gonna go higher. Truthfully, it was like 95, 450, and 300, I believe. I'm going to try 100 and then 450 and 300 on my settings, because that's probably going to be just fine. And I need to refresh. I know this isn't the right size. I've done that before where I forgot to refresh and I made stuff not fit and messed up things. So always remember to push refresh and go up here and resize your image so it'll fit on here. There is a framing button over here you can use. If your light's good enough to see it, you can click it and it puts a little flashy light around your image so you can make sure it's really set up perfectly in the middle. There we go. This is good enough for what we're doing. This is just for me. Push the start. And it's going to take it a little while to do this image, but while it's doing this image, I can show you a few other things. I'm going to push send and start it on my laser, push my magical button, and it's going to start doing its engraving. There we go. Now here's something you could do to help you just remember your settings. I do a snipping tool, and I copy and paste my little thing down here to show my settings. Okay, so you can see my little thing that I copied over there. Here's my, let me push refresh, and you can see what this image turned out like on the acrylic. It looks really nice. It came out really, really good, and you'll see a better picture of it at the end, but it came out really good. And what I do is I make a clip of the image and how the settings look for each of my pictures, and I've saved all of those at the end of this file also, so you can have that. That's another little quick hack for you. So next file, we're going to try out another thing, one of the keychains. And I have a lot of different kinds of keychains I've tried, but this one I haven't tried before, so we're going to try a little wooden keychain. I've taken my logo and my little QR code off of my business card, and I usually put these on the backs of all of my little items, like my coasters and keychains and things, so that it's my little brand and people can find it again easily. I also give away a lot of keychains in lieu of business cards, just because they're a really nice treat to give to people. So check out the settings. I'm going to push refresh, and I've got my keychain in there with my little jig, and it's a little wooden keychain. I'm going to scoot this over and make it just a little smaller to fit on there. I don't want it to be humongous and obnoxious on there, but I'll make it big enough so that you can see it. And there we go. That looks pretty good. Since it is a wooden keychain, I'm going to have to set my correct settings for it. And on this particular one, it is going to be using the blue light. Since it's wood, definitely the blue light. And I've got to pick out my materials. I'm going to go on my settings and pick out the walnut. I think that's probably the best choice for this one. So yeah, we'll put that. And it is pretty much ready to go. My settings, it's already automatic. I'm going to just go with that, and while that thing is going, it's going to take a little over a minute. We'll just look at a couple of tricks you can try out while that's engraving. Now, scoot this out of the way. You've got a lot of tools up top that you can use. Now I'm going to make a little circle here, and again, if you hold your shift key down, you can create your circle to be uniform. I'm going to fill it with a color and make it so we can see it a little bit darker, brighter purple. I'm going to make another shape over here, a triangle, and get that going, make it filled, and right there give it a better color to see also. So now I have two shapes. I can do some cute little tricks with these two shapes. Grab it and move this thing down here. Remember, you can hold your shift key and use the grab bar. In and out, scrolling up and down if you've got a scroll on your mouse. But that's how I do that. Take my two shapes here. Move this one so it's overlapping that one a little bit. Right. Go there. Okay. So move this guy, collect them both. If I put them both, I can do things to both of them at the same time. Closer. Okay. Try it again. Let's put the merge button on it. So if we merge the top merge button, it's going to make it into one giant thing. Okay. I'm going to undo with Control Z and grab them both again and show you what the other merge buttons do. Here's subtract. Undo that again and try that on the third merge button. This one is overlapping, so it's only the stuff in between that's the two of them. And then the last one, I can do that, and it's going to only take away what's in the same with both of them. So that'd be the little tiny wedge in the middle. So there's 4 things you can do with your merge button. The offset button is the one that makes it have an outline around it. And I could make the outline as a cut file, and then I could cut out that shape and have something interesting there that I've cut out and made into its own whole object. A lot of times I'll use this when I'm making keychains and stuff that I'm making out of my own leather or whatever. If I need to flip and rotate, you've got those buttons right here to reflect, rotate, flip it around, try different things. So there you go. And even more interesting, you've got an array button. If you make multiples, you can sit here and add in however many you want to do across and down, however many you could possibly fit inside your little area in the Lumos to engrave. And all these things that I'm showing you work on the Lumos and on the other lasers as well. Most of the things are all similar for both of them. So this is not just for Lumos. This could work for a lot of things. There, I've got a batch file of all those little widgets that I just made, and I'm going to delete a few of them. Delete, and watch what this will do. I'm going to collect both of those together, and I'm going to try this centric one. So if you're trying to make something circular, you can make a really weird, cool pattern with the circle thing. And there's all these little settings where you can adjust how many you're doing and how far apart and how wide they are and how tall they are until they become whatever the heck you want them to be. So here you go. You've got a cool design. And ungrouping and grouping, yes, you can try those things. Any of these little tools up top are great to try with your project. Here's another cool trick. Make a word. I'll make it so I can actually see the word. And I'm going to make it turn out a little bit. And that, a little bit smaller. Make it darker so I can see it. And there. Now I'm going to make a shape. Make it a little circle. And make my circle solid. So it's there. It'll fit around that shape. Now I'm going to collect both of them by clicking and dragging over them. And this time I'm going to use the merge button, the bottom one, so that it actually cuts the word out of that shape. So that's kind of a fun thing you can do. Alright. Now sometimes you want to take an image or a little picture that you've worked with and separate it. That would be the split button. And it splits all those little pieces apart. You could take out one little thing, like if you wanted to take out the circle on the inside of a word or something. That's useful for that sort of thing. Now, here's my keychain, and let me let you see how this thing came out. It actually came out really good. Now, when you make a file, sometimes you want to save your settings, so I scoot all of my stuff close to this little area on the right, and then I use my snipping tool. Mine's down on my bottom toolbar, but you can look for your snipping tool. If you can't find it, look in your search and find your snipping tool on your computer. It belongs to Windows, so it's not like part of the Wecreat thing. And I use it to make a screenshot, basically, of that little section of the screen. I copy and paste it into my screen and make it a little bit smaller, and I can save that little picture image of all my settings with the picture of the thing that I engraved. So there it is there, and I have copies of all of these at the end of the video. So now we're going to make a business card, and this thing is aluminum. I've got a lot of different types and thicknesses of business cards that I've tried, but today we're going to try a little kind of medium thickness business card, and I have my file already set up together. I have my QR code, which works really well on most of the things I've engraved it on. It actually comes out really well and it works perfectly. People sometimes want me to make business cards for them when I'm at events with a QR code, and they'll just get 1 or 2 business cards so that they can have them to just show people and have them do the, you know, thing right there, so they can just have a quick one. Now, the one that I've got in my jig is, I said, medium thickness. It's already set up with this file. I have it all grouped together and saved so that I have everything ready to go. The settings on my business card, I probably need to check that because this is a whole new file that I just copied and pasted it into. So I need to make sure I've got, yeah, get the refresh and get the red light going. This is metal. So red light, aluminum business card, so metal, and black is close enough. Click it to see what the settings are, and it has it going really slow. I know that that's too slow just because I remember. I try to do 100 and then 250 and then 100, and you can actually look down at the bottom at the little approximate scale that they have there for you to pick something that you might want to use. But I know on my business cards that I've done that 100, 250, and 100 works well. So that's what I'm going to stick with on this one. And again, I'll give you a screenshot of all of them in a minute. But yeah, I can pick something from out of there, but I'm going to go with what I really know works, since I've tried this a lot of times. All right, let this go. It takes about 2 minutes for each of my business cards, 3 minutes, 3.5 at the most, depending on what people want to put on them. So that if you're doing one and for somebody, you know how long it's going to take you. Like I said, some people want 1 or 2 of them. You know, I just keep them going. I have them going just for something for people to see that's actually lasering when I'm at events, since business cards are pretty easy to do. All right, let's go from here and see how this looks. A little screenshot of my card. I hope you enjoyed this video, and check out some of my other videos. Here's another one of my images that I made on ChatGPT with my cute little raccoon. I really did have fun doing this, and I hope you try some of these things out. And if you need any help, just holler at me. Shoot me up a thing on Facebook or whatever, and I can help you out with your things. Till I see you again, thanks for watching. This is Leslie with Feral Laser. Y'all have a good time out there playing with your lasers.